Become a Golden Knight today and never miss a video by clicking that subscribe button and that bell. Anyway, on with the video. Hello my Golden Knights, it's richyrichgold here, and welcome back to another theory video where I'll be taking you guys through a little bit of a theory that I have for a map expansion or some other major change to the game. And I'm today going to be talking about the new park area or ranger area, the kind of the park ranger update that has been hinted before, and I'll kind of be going over, some of the vehicles, what we can expect, where we can expect it, and some of the kind of smaller details that we could find inside this update whenever it does come out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, a lot of people actually know that this park update is coming out, but they don't actually know where or when. However, because of a few of the update hints in the Discord, we could expect something like this update, even just a small part of it, maybe just a vehicle or two, would arrive possibly at the end of this month, which is to say July, I believe it is. So basically, what I'm thinking is this update will probably come in increments. It probably won't start with a major map update, because obviously when you have the park ranger vehicles, you're then going to need a new area, so I think it will come in stages perhaps, which is a little bit of a shame. Now I'd like to just really quickly run through some of the evidence that we have for this. So the first thing is a poll that was done in 2020, I think around the same time as this year, maybe a few months before, and it was basically a poll on the Discord to see how many people would be interested in a park ranger sort of update. And as you can see, it was overwhelmingly positive towards people actually wanting the park ranger kind of vehicles, or I guess a new area to be added. So that could mean that they have been working on this for some time, or it's at least been on some sort of list for quite a while. And right below the poll, you can also see that a bunch of new vehicles has also been listed as possible park ranger vehicles, and they do look very, very cool. However, the difference is, and kind of the reason why I think that this is worth talking about now and not back in 2020, is if we actually jump to present and just scroll up a little bit, the inclusion of this final model for the, as you can see, park ranger, and it is slightly different than the ones we saw before, and we also have the Caprice right here as well in the same sort of livery, which is a little bit different to the ones we saw before. So obviously they are really working on this now, and this is why I think that within the next few updates we are going to 100% see something like this. But the question still in fact remaining is, where is this massive map extension? Because it will have to be massive for a big, national park area for it to properly be patrolled. Where exactly will it be? Now, for myself, I, for a long time, really did believe that they were going to stick it right over here in Greenville Park and keep extending it out this way. However, in a recent update, we know that they actually added this neighborhood here in the spot where we were expecting maybe some sort of national park to go, and they also moved the school, which sort of rules out any sort of extension to this Greenville Park area. So unfortunately, I think this is pretty much it for this Greenville Park. However, there is hope. Now, as a matter of fact, I'm actually not that disappointed that the Greenville Park is not going to be extended and used as a national park, because that means that we're going to have a whole lot more space to actually go ahead and play with. And as you can see where I'm probably heading, you've got a little bit of an idea as to what I'm kind of getting onto here. Now, Lake Greenville was the first ever edition of a proper, full, nature-focused kind of update, and it was a pretty big one. And it was added out into this really, really empty area at the back of a couple of neighborhoods. And as you can see, it really stretches quite vastly. I'll speed up the camera so you can actually see it, but it is absolutely massive. It covers a huge area. And what I'm thinking is, the areas behind this, or even off to the left here in this big empty area, could indeed be transformed into some sort of national park, because that is what I think will probably be needed in order to basically satisfy the needs of this national park area, because obviously with all the things that will be included in, which I'll get onto in a bit, it's going to need quite a lot of space. So yes, this sort of area, perhaps behind the park area, I think would be a really, really interesting spot for it, kind of towards the train tracks area. Obviously, they'd probably have to move some things around for this to be the case, but I think that it is something they could absolutely do, and then kind of surrounding the entire Lake Greenville area could possibly be maybe the jurisdiction of the actual park service, which could be coming to the game, which I think would be very, very interesting to do. However, there is something else we do have to talk about. We have to talk about what's actually going to be in this park update, because I mean, it's all well and good just saying that they're going to put a large national park in somewhere, possibly, but the real thing that we want to know is what's going to be in it, what is there to do, and what's the point of, really going and checking it out if it's just a bunch of trees. Well, I think first of all, we could expect the following things, and these following things are more kind of things that I would 100% like to see, and these are things that I think would be absolute just must-haves for any sort of update. What I would be expecting is a trail system, a bunch of little dirt roads going all around through the national park, just for fun stuff, pursuits or anything like that. I think that would be absolutely awesome. Another thing that I'd be very interested to have is basically park hangout areas. We could have gazebos, campfires, things like that. We could do camping role plays. You could have campsites with people going out and bringing their, vans and things like that, or camper vans, and going and actually, camping out in places. That would be absolutely amazing. And then we could have park rangers and whatnot going around and actually, patrolling that area, and I think that would be absolutely awesome. Another thing that I would also really, really like to see, that I have been wanting for quite a while, and that I have suggested quite a few times, is that we have some sort of off-roading area, because at the moment we don't have any kind of hilly or muddy area where we can go and actually take the many different off-road vehicles in the game, because at the moment this game is more just for kind of driving around on more paved roads, but I think an off-road area that actually gave us maybe a little bit of a challenge or more of kind of a roleplay experience to actually take those off-road vehicles, I think that would be really, really cool. And obviously those trails and whatnot would be very, very useful to that, so I think that could, really, really be something that we use anyway, but I just think that a purpose-built off-road track would be very, very cool. But yes, in short, I think it would make sense if they put it on this kind of side of the map. I don't really see, anywhere else that they could really put some sort of national park area, because obviously with the park ranger stuff, I would expect that they would have, some sort of, other national park area, because otherwise they're really just, the park rangers would just be kind of driving up and down this small road, and I wouldn't really see a massive point to that. I mean, obviously it would maybe contribute a little bit to this area, but I think in order for it to really expand the feel of the game, they would have to make some sort of map extension or additions for that, make a park ranger station, something like that at the very least, maybe some watchtowers, I don't even know, for Firewatch, I don't even know, something like that, but basically that is what I think, and that's what I think that we could kind of see in the next update, and I think it would really make sense for it to be the next kind of map extension, because I mean, what have we had, lately we've had the the Greenville Lake, we've had some extensions over that way. I think that this would be a really, really nice little step to kind of getting more nature involved in this kind of area, and I think that it would be really, really cool for them to do. But anyway, everyone, that is going to do us all for today. So hopefully you guys did all enjoy. Hopefully you found it interesting at the very least. And I hope that maybe you, had some sort of idea of what we might see in the future. Obviously, this is all just, my theories, but I really, really do hope that they do come true in some way. So hopefully you guys did enjoy it all once again, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.